Charlton. I'm a student at the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth. Today I will be talking about the book The Charlton Story by Earl Perry Charlton II and George Winius. The story begins with how Mr. Charlton starts his journey to becoming a successful entrepreneur. He was born on June 19th, 1863 in Connecticut. His father was a blacksmith, which he was not very interested into. He felt that being a blacksmith had limitations to which how much success you could have in life. At an early age, Charlton knew he wanted to become or be in business, so he dropped out of high school. This was not rare. Back in those days, you did not need a high school degree to become wealthy. So he just got a job as a clerk. That's where he started. He moved up later as a traveling salesman, where he most likely met his future partner, Seymour Knox. That's where he networked, basically, and that's where they suspect he met his future partner. So at the time, though, a man named Frank Woolworth had opened 25-cent stores. He owned most of them. So that was their main competitor when Seymour, or Mr. Knox and Mr. Charlton, opened up their 5 and 10-cent stores. To compete with Woolworth, they opened up the 5 and 10-cent stores in Fall River in 1890, and on its first day it was so successful that they sold out all of their stock, all of their shelves, everything gone. So the next day they actually had to double their stock, and it was still not enough to supply the public's needs. Charlton would constantly change things up in his business, trying new ideas. He was very clever, very creative. Whenever he failed, he would always bounce back and learn from those mistakes. The success continued, and they opened up many stores together, totaling with 53 stores, 9 of which were in New England. The rest were spread across the Midwest, and a few internationally, such as in Montreal, Canada, which was opened in 1900. However, after they had all this success together, they finally split up. Their separation was actually peaceful, and they remained friends for the rest of their lives. This brought about a new chapter in Charlton's life. He began opening up textile mills, becoming a retail giant. This is when he made most of his money and had most of his wealth. But unlike Woolworth or anybody else with a lot of money, he was always giving, always caring. He was charitable and gave much of his money away to donations. Woolworth would keep his money and give it to his family. He was not as selfless as Charlton was. On November 30th, 1930, Charlton passed away. Although he was only 67 years old, Charlton had built an empire that most entrepreneurs would dream of. And even after he died, he was still giving. His family auctioned off his Pond Meadow estate and donated the money to charities. His daughter Ruth followed in her father's selfless actions and actually opened up the Charlton Memorial Hospital, which is very helpful. And his grandson Earl Perry Charlton II founded the Charlton College of Business. The main themes of this book I found is that although business is not supposed to be personal, being selfless and caring can take you a long way. Charlton had a big heart and cared for his employees, which took him very far. They were very reliable to him. And second is that anything can be achieved with hard work. Charlton started off with nothing, meager money, just nothing going his way. His father was a blacksmith, and he just took on his own adventure. And he is an inspiration to entrepreneurs and should be an example to be followed. If I were to rate this book, I would give it a 6 out of 10. Because although most parts were unexciting, the information side is good. I'd recommend this book to students who are interested in opening their own business someday. It's very helpful. I'd like to thank you for watching, and see you soon, I guess.